I know you're not here for me. You're here for Lucky Star. And obviously that's perfectly acceptable. Everything that I've seen so far has pretty much led up to where we are at the minute, which is not really understanding what's going on, some usual conversations between friends, which ultimately means nothing, but is fulfilling nonetheless. All I hope is that you don't actually take any life lessons from this show. At least not from one character who definitely isn't the embodiment of everything that I have done up to this point. There's no getting away from it. That beginning which, okay, are you ready? Well, you better be. And compared to the first couple of episodes where it was the kind of representation of the 4 is the rest of it going to change all too drastically? And all of these extra characters. We've seen the teacher get a little bit more screen time. Every time that I watch this, I feel like, oh, there might be something new that I didn't notice so far. But not really. The amount of emotive in her face. So don't you dare misbehave. You know, there are some teachers where, through either fear or just because they're a good teacher, you don't want to interrupt things that they have planned. Wait, did I notice a tank? Okay. I don't think any of the teachers in my school would have even known what video games were. I understand that pain. The amount of XP that I've lost through various games, through, let's be honest, my own mistakes. And now it's done. I mean, it's not that much effort to use a hand fan, is it? Yeah, longer than 4 seconds. I mean, I'm not really all too knowledgeable on the intricacies of tying a yukata. Yeah, yukata. Obi. Well, is it that weird to know how to Taiwan if you're Japanese? Oh. A relative. So she's on, well, not good terms, but can somewhat get out of trouble with the teacher and now her. Yeah, she hasn't grown much. It's good that she's not too, cliche worried about things like that. So, we're getting a lot of this character right away, and the fact that she's a bit of a glutton as well. I mean, generally it's not that much of a difference if you know what you're doing. Did even win the prize. Any of them? Then you better duck. It's hard to tell just from the name. You can take a guess. It kind of reminds me of all of those like energy drink flavors where it's just names of various bollocks. You have to guess what things are, really. Wait, is this something she actually knows? Huh. So it's not schoolwork that she gets her knowledge from, is it movies? She didn't budget very well. There are definitely certain times and places where you are a little less frugal. I feel like a lot of us can actually understand her way of thinking. What was that? So it would be fine if it's a couple doing it rather than two sisters. Are these not the type of crowd to openly hate anyone that is showing scenes of affection outside? Swim away, little fish. That's got some good fish AI in this. Is it a bit slow so it can't run away? That is a detailed fish. Really? How many of the festival prizes and fish go, like, forgotten a couple of days later? Of course not. Actually, she said of course not. Not going to be pulled away again. She's not neglecting her duty. She made the mistake once. And she's taking it so seriously, as we can see. I mean, is there anything wrong with keeping morale high? Well, other than the others that are on duty, but... She thought she had found a... someone of like of mind, but no. That cop had actually somewhat got a life together. Oh, yeah. Let's ignore the studying that we're just not doing. What? Does anyone... Depleted uranium? Depleted uranium? Huh? Where did that come from? And does anyone remember the times of wired house phones and worrying about the phone bill? I don't have any free times. I've got all these games to play. This is a far too pleasant of a in-game chat to be real. Have you done your homework? Huh? Homework? I feel like I should use the double semicolon a lot more in my conversations now. Like, Even her solace of playing online games is ruined. Was he the one from the intro? Yep. It's hard not to. How long before she... She likes to portray this air of... That's fake characters. Air of maturity, but no. But the thing is, she has to get all of the limited edition stuff. What if they sell out? There are people like her, actually. I'm not really one of them, but I definitely know at least one. I think she's a bit obsessed with balsamic vinegar in this episode. Kagami. The fact you're just holding the frame. Now that you're here, become my de facto, like, tutor. Oh, she's worse than her. What, you don't use maths anymore? And there goes her. Doesn't have to really study, just skates through everything. I have definitely handed in like half-finished homework before. Yep. I need a little break from this. And that 30 minutes is going to turn into 6 hours. That's a nice little song that she's humming. I mean, she's not moving the mouse, she's just clicking a lot. And that's where her... Oh, don't start telling everyone! This is where you get caught! Well, it's actually that rare of a sword where the... Rufflecopter? Don't try and put that in there. Where the guild is actually congratulating her for getting the drop. Looks like... Oh, no. Are we lucky? I'm not sure. I'm not sure we're ready. Can we get any more excited? Her introduction of him when she's on camera is so much nicer than how she actually treats him. Postcards again? What a loser. I thought he was trying to point out plot holes or something. I mean, it definitely become more, like, culturally accepted in the past years. Especially with the meteoric rise of Final Fantasy. Of course she was into PvP. How old is she? And which half of the audience do you want to be in? She got oddly pumped for that question. And then you stole all their shit and ran away. So her memory was just getting loads of free shit. Huh? What has he said wrong now? I'm glad it hasn't cut back to what we're actually seeing behind this screen. It's a bloodbath. That's the last we ever saw of him. I wondered why it sounded like she was over a megaphone, but it's because speaking into the microphone. This sounds familiar. I mean, compared to some of the other songs we've heard, not the best rendition. I mean, what really is there to say about these moments? Just a bunch of friends having fun in a karaoke bar, which don't actually exist as far as I know in Britain. At least not around here. And even if they did, I wouldn't be going. Monster Hunter's a good game, well, a good series of games. I mainly started mine with Monster Hunter World. I'm a rather late adopter to that game. This is a very long preview. You see, that's the benefit and drawback of having the teacher be your online friend and your raiding partner, guildmate. They would actually know when you're slacking off, not actually doing your work, and can actually ask you directly, instead of having to wait for lessons. And spending your time with what could be seen as a waste, but actually, she collected that ultra rare sword. That's better than any homework could have done for her. I mean, definitely be put into a CV or future job interview. But also, as I have learned through several games actually recently, if there is a exceedingly rare chance of winning something, I am more than likely going to get it. With the caveat being of, only if it is completely useless. Anything good actually still eludes me. It's a curse. And if you would like to spend your time wandering the festival, pointing weaponry at the stall owners, what was she going to do if she did win him? Probably best not to question that. But I'm going to be looking out in the future to make sure she's taking good care of that goldfish. If you enjoyed this episode, let me know. We're getting into a bit more of an actual full story rather than the small, unconnected little skits. Leave a like and a comment down below if you really did enjoy. Subscribe to the channel to see more. Get some rest. See you in the next one. And someone please save that host of the Lucky Channel. If you would like to throw your money away at the carnival game that is my channel, consider joining on to my Patreon, because at least then you have a chance of getting something back. And I need to thank those that have came and walked away with the Cuddly Monkey prize, which is Sal, Electric Ant, Arthea, Noku, Raywin, Shiwan, Mecha, Matt, Stinsfire, Jennifer Rojas, Girly1234W, Kite, Saltytron, Cardboard, Dark Shadow 7899, Maurizio Lozano, and everyone else. It's good to know that this carnival game might not be entirely rigged.